You are 31 years old. You've been saving for 6 years, and finally, your down payment fund hits $45,000. You have found a house, 3 bedrooms, a decent neighborhood, priced at $425,000. Your real estate agent is pushing hard. Interest rates might go up, inventory is low. If you wait, you might regret it. Your parents keep asking when you're going to stop throwing money away on rent. Your friends who bought homes 3 years ago post photos of their backyards, renovated kitchens, and casually mention building equity and locking in rates. And there you are, staring at your $45,000, running the numbers for the 100th time. Your mortgage payment would be $2,146 per month. Add property taxes of $4,700 per year, which equals $392 per month. Insurance would cost about $150 per month, and maintenance, budgeting 1% of the home's value, comes to $354 per month. That totals $3,042 per month before you buy furniture or fix anything that breaks. Currently, you are renting a similar house for $2,200 per month. Your gut tells you renting makes more sense, but everyone is telling you you're making a mistake, throwing money away, and that you will never build wealth if you keep renting. So you ask the question that is keeping you up at night. Which option is actually cheaper, renting or buying? Here's the secret that nobody tells you. There is a simple rule to figure this out. It's called the 7% rule. Once you understand it, you'll stop listening to real estate agents and your parents and start making decisions based on actual math rather than emotional pressure. And today, we're breaking down the rent versus buy decision using real 2026 numbers. The lie most people believe. Most people believe that when you rent, you're throwing money away, and when you buy a home, you're building equity. It sounds logical, but the truth is that home ownership also costs money. You're just spending it differently. Let me show you why the conventional wisdom is misleading. The real costs of home ownership. Owning a home comes with 3 major costs that renters rarely consider. First, property taxes. You may own the house, but the government takes a percentage of its value every year. In the United States, the average property tax rate is about 1.11%. On a $500,000 house, that equals $5,550 per year, or $462 per month. This is money that does not build equity. You're simply paying the government for the privilege of owning property. Second, maintenance. Experts recommend budgeting 1 to 2% of your home's value annually for maintenance. Conservatively, using 1% for a $500,000 home equals $5,000 per year, or $417 per month. These are necessary expenses, but they do not create wealth. You're only keeping the house from falling apart. Third, opportunity cost. When you put a large sum into a down payment, that money could be invested elsewhere, like in the stock market. Historically, the S&P 500 has averaged 10% per year, while homes traditionally appreciate about 4 to 5% annually. That difference, about 5%, is the opportunity cost of your down payment. On a $100,000 down payment, that's $5,000 per year in missed investment returns. Additionally, you're paying mortgage interest on the remaining 80% you financed. At the current 2026 rates of 6.5%, interest on a $400,000 loan comes to approximately $26,000 per year. When you combine property taxes, maintenance, opportunity cost, and mortgage interest, home ownership roughly costs 7% of the home's value per year. For a $500,000 home, 7% equals $35,000 per year, or $2,917 per month. That's the amount of money a homeowner spends every month that will never be returned to them, almost the same as rent. Quick anecdote. My friend Sarah bought her first home 3 years ago. By the second year, she realized her equity was tiny compared to the $15,000 she had spent on repairs, taxes, and interest. She wished she had run the numbers first. How to use the 7% rule. The 7% rule is simple and actionable. Multiply the price of the house by 0.07, then divide by 12. This gives you the monthly break-even rent. Compare this number to local rents. If rent is lower than the break-even amount, renting is financially superior. If it's higher, buying may make more sense. Visualize it on screen by multiplying your home price by 7%, then dividing by 12. You instantly see which option costs less each month.
What is happening in 2026? Mortgage rates are averaging around 6.3% for the year, slightly down from 2025. Median home prices are expected to grow by 1 to 1.2%, while median rent prices have declined for 26 consecutive months as of September 2025 and are expected to rise only 2 to 3% by the end of 2026. It is also important to consider inflation and economic uncertainty. Rents might rise moderately, but home ownership costs are largely locked in at high rates, creating risk if the market declines or your financial situation changes. Why renting can be better? Let us look at a 10-year comparison. Assuming an 8% average annual investment return, renters who invest the difference between rent and mortgage payments could end up approximately $120,000 richer over a decade. Homeowners build equity slowly, as the early payments go mostly toward interest. Renters, on the other hand, invest the difference in liquid assets they can access at any time. Short anecdote. My cousin rented a home for 5 years and invested the difference. At the end of the period, she had a portfolio larger than what her home equity would have been, giving her freedom to move, travel, or invest further. Automatic investing is an effective strategy for building wealth without the illiquidity or maintenance costs of home ownership. The myth of tax deductions. Many people assume that mortgage interest deductions make buying a home significantly more beneficial. However, the standard deduction for individuals is now $14,600 and $29,200 for married couples. For most homeowners, the deduction provides minimal to no advantage. It rarely outweighs the opportunity cost and transaction costs of home ownership. The intangible factors. Owning a home has benefits that do not show up in spreadsheets. Predictable housing costs, complete control over your space, protection from eviction, and long-term stability. However, there are also real costs. You're locked in, mobility is reduced, you're responsible for all repairs, and your wealth is tied up in a single illiquid asset. This concentration of risk is not trivial and can affect your financial flexibility. What the numbers say. According to NerdWallet's 2025 Homebuyer Report, 52% of American renters prefer renting to owning, and 36% plan to rent indefinitely. This is not failure. It's people making financially informed decisions. With mortgage rates remaining in the low 6% range and high home prices, renting is financially superior for most markets in 2026. Conclusion. Buying a home does not automatically create wealth, and renting does not automatically waste money. Both options involve monthly costs. The key is determining which option costs less. Use the 7% rule. Home price multiplied by 0.07 divided by 12 equals the monthly break-even rent. Compare this to your local rents and make a decision based on the math, not emotional pressure. If this video helps you avoid a $500,000 mistake, share it with someone being pressured to buy. Comment with your break-even rent calculation for your market. Remember, anyone telling you renting is throwing money away likely profits when you buy. Agents, mortgage brokers, even parents seeking bragging rights all gain financially if you buy. You, however, do not. Run the numbers yourself. Your bank account will thank you. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.